Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining New Jersey Wedding Podcast, your go-to podcast for planning your wedding in New Jersey. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. And we thank you for joining us today, another rainy day in April.
I know, but you know what they say about that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
April
April
showers.
showers. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
But I
Okay.
can't even get out there to like fix up my yard and start the planting because of the rain, you
No, and
know?
not for nothing, but it snowed last week. Okay, what is that about?
I
It's
know
like
I should just be thankful.
very bad. I've lived in New Jersey my whole life, and I always tell my couples that I'm talking to, well, the last day that it's ever snowed here was April 7th, and I moved into a new apartment and I didn't have a shovel, so I had to dig my car out with a wok. And now like that that record has been shattered. So now like the last day is the 12th or the 13th. I'm not happy about that at all, but
Right.
here we
Oh,
are. So
that's
maybe the
funny.
rain looks like a good thing now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the rain than snow in April.
absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. And we're continuing our two-pronged series on your wedding was fabulous and now it's in the rear view mirror a little bit, but there's still stuff to do, which is
Yes.
kind of nice
What to
because it's you
do?
still having your wedding. It's kind of like fun.
What to do after your wedding. Yeah.
Do.
Yes, we were on part two of what to do after your wedding.
Hmm.
First I was gonna say, the wedding website, Zola,
Mm.
now they have vendors on there and they
Yeah,
now
of
have officiants. So both of us set up our profiles on there.
course we did.
But yeah, and we're on Wedding Wire and the Knot. But I'll just give a little advice for anybody looking at vendors on those sites. If you see me and want to contact me, or Celia, or anyone, contact them directly through their
Contact. Yeah,
email.
yeah,
It is to contact them through that third party site, whether it's Zola, Wedding Wire, or the
yeah.
Knot, can be problematic.
All kinds
Um,
of technical glitches, and
so much
yeah,
spam that we could not see you.
yeah,
I feel bad for that, that sometimes there's so much spam through those sites. You guys know it. You guys have spam emails all day long. Now you're a vendor and you put yourself on these sites. We get so much spam through those sites of people just trying to, spam us with
it's
stuff.
funny. Yeah, their cousin has always graciously offered to pay for their entire wedding, and
Yeah.
yeah, and interestingly enough, they seem to always be getting married with all of us on the same day all over the state. It's
Right, right. So
wow, like
things get lost because I know it's like the same
the
three
same
spams
thing.
that
So
go on and on. But because of this, you things get lost, and
yeah,
not even from our junk mail thing, things get lost and all that
they're just
spam. You
going.
can get lost in the spam. Also, sometimes, I'm not it's we always have to pay for to see the email or the lead from Zola. Somebody
Yeah,
wants to know about your services. So you have to pay us, $10 to find out who they are. And it's like, I don't know, that it just gets like
not a fan. You know
just
what? My
our,
my best advice for finding vendors, and I don't think this is a new concept, is if you have found your venue, which is the first thing that you're going to find. We've talked about this before. Your venue is going to have great people that they recommend. Those great people, you're probably going to find your DJ and your photographer first, probably, because you get from the biggest people down to ask these people who they like.
right, right.
Ask, who your DJ, who do they like to work with? Go to our Benable page from New Jersey Wedding Podcast has great people, and you can click right on their website. You can read all about them. You
Yeah.
don't have to wade through a lot of other stuff. It's like, okay, it just makes it easier. We're
And
all trying to make it easier for you.
make it easier. And if you do see, because there are a lot of good vendors on Wedding Wire and the
Oh
Knot
yeah,
and Zola, I'm on it, you're on it, we're
yeah,
great. Just our emails are on there, our name, whatever. Just open up a new tab, pull us up on that tab and contact us directly. Just cut out that middleman and we'll be able to get back to you right away. So that's my helpful hint of the day. The
Yeah.
great websites, I think they're really good for you to make your free wedding website.
Hmm.
That's what the number one thing for all of those is they offer free wedding
Yeah.
websites for the couple, and that's really useful,
Yeah.
I think.
All the information that, you might not necessarily put on an invitation. And
And you can
then kind of,
direct your guests to
yeah,
that website. And I like looking at those websites
I do
too.
too.
I can see their story, their love story, get a little insight on the folks and
Hmm.
stuff. So that's really nice. That's a really good use of those. But contact the
Like it.
vendors directly. Look at them to see what vendors are on there, see photos, see reviews. They're good for reviews. And then just contact them directly.
Alice, we'll call you
So,
back. We'll answer the call.
yeah, yeah. Don't get lost in the shuffle,
Yeah.
as you can imagine there is. It's hard to get away from that, you know.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
putting anybody down, it's just hard to get away from that.
Yeah.
Um,
Easy as possible. So now, let's see. So now
the
we've had
tasks.
the wedding. The
Uh-huh.
wedding has happened, and you're home from your mini moon, and now you are faced with things to do. Um,
Uh-huh.
I think kind of the first thing that I don't know, because I like writing thank you notes, but thank you notes I think are the first thing you should take care of, really. They
Right.
say theoretically you have 3 months to do that, but
Mhm.
after like 2 weeks you're going to be like, wow, do we have to do this?
Yeah, you
Yes, you
might as
do.
well do
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
in the moment when you're feeling the joy in the moment
Yeah.
and get it off your task list. So you've already what you talked about last time, how you've opened your gifts and you've made a list of who gave you what,
You have.
you know.
You have taped the gift wrap
Uh-huh.
of the thing to the present, and you've written the name of the
Yeah.
person if it's an actual present. And if
Yeah,
not,
and
yeah.
we've talked about how a lot are envelopes,
Hmm.
and you're still going to send a thank you for the envelope. So
Right.
write out your thank you um, letters and get them out.
Make it a date night.
Yeah.
Get some wine,
Yeah.
get some gel markers, get some thank you notes, write them all down.
It's always fun to get the gel markers. What color can you
That's right.
make it fun? Get the
Make it fun
fun
for
stuff,
yourself.
the gel markers,
Totally.
the this and the that.
Right.
Yeah, I love
Right.
it.
So, everyone who gave you a person. Now, sometimes on Quora, people ask, well, do I need to write a thank you note for everybody who came to the wedding?
Yes.
Conventional wisdom is no.
Oh,
Thank you notes are for people who brought you a present. But I would extend that a little bit to, if your friends gave you a bachelorette party, if somebody hosted the rehearsal dinner, if you have friends that made you a fabulous cookie table, or somebody did a reading, the people who did something really special for you in, getting your wedding accomplished. I think that's really a sweet thing to do. I don't know. I think your parents maybe too. I love thank you notes to parents. How cool
yeah.
is that?
I
Yeah.
think you're so right with that. Extend it to that. If
Yeah.
somebody got up and did a reading for
Yeah.
you or gave you the party or whatever, I think any little thing like that needs to
Hmm.
be acknowledged. You've been seen, it always feels good to
It
be
does.
acknowledged and thanked,
Yeah.
with a handwritten note.
Absolutely.
It's just a beautiful thing that's never going to go out of style.
No, I agree. And then, of course, then we get to reviews for vendors and your venue. And,
Hmm.
there's nothing, there is no better thank you to
Right.
us than if somebody, when
Great.
somebody writes us a card, it's a wonderful thing. It's, because nobody gets any mail anymore except for like their insurance bills. We don't
I
get
know,
anything. I
right?
mean, there's nothing in the mail that we really want to see. But, writing a note to us is like really wonderful. Writing a review, a positive review for the people who did a great job for you. You have no idea how much we treasure reviews from you
Yeah.
all. And, maybe some of you found us on Wedding Wire or Google or, other places that publish reviews. Those are people trust those. And it's so important for us to have great reviews from people that we did good work for. You have no idea how much we love that.
Oh, yeah, that is the best, isn't it? It's
Totally.
just the best. That's
Totally.
I love
Totally.
it.
And
Yeah,
you know,
very thankful for anyone who takes the time to write a review. Very much
absolutely.
so.
Yeah.
Thank you,
The
everyone.
Knot, Wedding Wire, Google, Zola now. I know I'm trying to work on my Google reviews because I didn't really even know there were Google reviews until last year.
Yeah, Google reviews are my favorite.
Yeah.
I know both of us already have so many with Wedding Wire and the Knot, but from a business standpoint, Google, well, it's the biggest search engine. Yeah, that
Mhm.
Google review is very important,
Love them. But
more so than a
on the
Yelp.
on the flip side of that too, uh, you may not have had a fantastic experience with all of your vendors. And I think that, along with writing the thank you, and so, you listen, sometimes a thank you note might address something that didn't go exactly perfectly too. There's nothing wrong with that. But if there was something that didn't happen the way you expected it or the way you hoped to, um, it's a good thing to tell those vendors, that venue, these things were really great, but this thing happened that wasn't so great. It doesn't happen to me very often, but a long time ago, somebody commented that wrote to me that I had said their name wrong, which is really, now I have to tell you, I check everybody's name while we're lining up, even if it's like
Mhm.
Mary and John. It's like it's Mary and John, right? Because like I
Oh,
never do that
absolutely.
again.
Because you'd be surprised that somebody might, how they might pronounce names
You just
now.
really never know.
Yeah, it
But
could look so
yeah.
normal, and it's
And
like,
it's just like something completely unique. But people who have,
and I write it phonetically in
I
my
know. Oh,
book.
I do too. I do too. And it's like in different colors too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think a great gift that you can give a vendor or a venue that you basically really liked, but something went a little sideways is to let them know so that, we don't do that again. And nobody wants to get a horrible review, and maybe whatever happened isn't really warranting a horrible review. But if there was something that went a little nuts, just let us know. We'd love to know that. We want to know that. Yeah. And what else is on that list that vendor follow? And you're going to have photos that are coming in. You're going to have videos that you probably don't have yet. Maybe photo albums, things that, if you decided to have your bouquet preserved or your dress preserved, following up on those things,
Mhm.
making sure that you don't have somebody's microphone in your pocket that you need to return. Not that that's ever happened to me.
Not that that has not happened to me yet, but
It
I
only
almost
happened
worry
once.
that
It
it's
was just
going to,
was
yeah.
last week
I mean, it's
once.
an easy mistake to you have that microphone clipped to you to walk
Oh,
out
God, so
with
bad.
it still on, you know?
Yeah. Now I got all the way down Route 287 with a microphone. It's like, oh man, really? It's like, now I
And
gotta.
could they hear you? Were you singing along to the
Oh
radio
God,
and
I
how
hope
you
not.
made the
I,
wedding video with
I
your
really no.
car karaoke?
That would have been great. That would be a great way to end a wedding video, wouldn't it? It's like your vendors are singing into the microphones on the way home. No, I hope not.
And then
Oh gosh.
you want to update your records with your
Yeah.
marital status. Okay, go in on your Facebook and mark it as married.
Yep. You
No,
probably
make
have
it
a lot of name
further.
change, got a lot of name change things.
Yeah.
There's no timeline on that. So, I mean, obviously by this time, we're thinking that, you're going to do these things a couple weeks after your wedding. You should have your license back, and that's when you can start on that process.
Yeah, your certificate. Yeah, you have that back, and now you've got your vital record, and you can do if you're going to do name changes. But even if you're not going to change your name, there are some things that
Yes.
you need to change your marital status on, whether it is
Hmm.
your if you own a home together, or if your bank accounts, beneficiaries,
Right, right.
that I saw, because we have twice now had on bride lawyer and groom lawyer,
Absolutely.
and you call them, see if you need to update a will or make a will, because they are the first ones to say, just don't assume it's just going to go to your spouse. Don't assume anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things, but the thing is that most of these things, there's not a time frame on it. You just want to make sure that everything is taken care of. The kind of order you're going to do this in is you're going to get your certified copies. You're going to change your driver's license if you're changing your name. and then I'm sorry, Social Security first, then your driver's license, and then you're going to have things like your insurance, your health insurance with your employer, or if you're, doing that by yourself, you're maybe going to have life insurance and all these, for most of them, you can do it on a need to know basis, but
Right.
you may have credit cards that now you need to change, and
Right. And you're
um,
definitely going to have to do because, okay, for most people now, because people are getting married just a little bit later in their 20s,
mhm,
late 20s and stuff. So they've been independent for a while. So, of course, they already have their individual bank accounts. So, whether you decide to keep those or merge them all together in one bank account, you're going to have to open up a mutual bank account for the sheer fact that you probably received. Um,
gifts. Yeah,
cash gifts
yeah,
for your from your wedding. So you have to open up that joint bank account to put those cash gifts in and decide how you're going to do all those finances,
right.
which is probably something you speak about before your wedding.
Yeah, totally.
So now you're going to need that's your marital status. Change it whether you change your name or not. You know that you can open up together and get that done together. And yeah.
And then do your passports and those kinds of
Oh,
things. And,
yeah, yeah.
a lot of this is based on whether then both of you can change your names. You can change it to something completely different if you
I
want.
know, I know. You really can.
Yes, you
There's
can.
no limit to what you can do there with your
No,
name.
you just go, just keep in mind that every time you tell somebody that your last name is, I don't know, ice cream cone, you're going to have to explain that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Karen. Yeah, Karen ice cream cone. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But there's enough places where you can get good advice for all of this. And just, it's just good to have it all taken care of and
Mhm.
in a time when you're not in some kind of crisis. It's
Yes,
always good. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
before
That's
you're
like the
in a
most unpleasant
crisis.
part, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can like go to the fun stuff, like, looking at your photos and your videos and getting them back and, sharing what you want to share online. And, maybe you created a hashtag for your guests to share photos. I kind of like that, like candid photos. Some of those photos are just really fun to look at. If you have a hashtag, people can post them online and, and you can share these things amongst your friends and relatives. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that once you get if you get your video and your photos back, I think it's a nice time to invite your parents and your
Oh,
siblings,
yeah.
those people over who were such a great part of your wedding
Mhm.
and say, we're going to host whatever, a brunch and play the videos. I think that's just great.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I like that. That's a great
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. And that's kind of the fun part. By this time, you probably have a pile of things that you don't really know what to do with. Invitations, maybe your vow books, maybe your hand fasting cord or something if you did another kind of unity
Keepsake.
ritual like sand or glass or something like that. And you probably have things that maybe would make a great shadow box or, some a keepsake box. And it's a good time to put those things together before you just do not know where they are.
Right, right. Yeah, stay organized that way. And then you're going to have things left over that you feel like, well, I'm never going to use these
Hmm.
candles that I put on every table or this sign or, things like that. Um, there are some great Facebook pages where you can sell these items or just give them away.
Yes, there are two of them are run by me.
Yes. What are the names of them?
There is Recycle Your New Jersey Wedding.
Uh-huh.
And that's a group that you can recycle your North Jersey wedding. That is a place where you can sell those 400 votive candles that you bought and maybe used half of them. And then there are free cycle groups all over New Jersey. Mine happens to be Bergen County Free Cycle, but I know that's a nationwide network of free cycle groups where you post things that you do not want anymore and you give them away. There's no money exchange there. But
Right.
I'll tell you, it's a great place also to look for things that you might need. Like
Mhm.
somebody was on that group a couple of days ago and they posted this beautiful, beautiful bureau. And I could see somebody like in a rustic setting having like bringing that in and using it for like the place cards maybe, or like
Yes.
opening up all the drawers and putting in like little keepsakes and pictures and things like that.
Talk about thinking out of the box and then getting
Yeah.
something for free. And it's not just about getting it for
No,
free.
it's not at
It's
all.
not just about budget. It's about sustainability. It's
Right.
environmentally friendly. It's green. And I think that is at the top of a lot of people's minds nowadays.
Yes.
And so if you
Yes.
can use these social media platforms to give away things, get things for free, or even sell them, for half of what you spent on them and somebody else is saving, but it's also sustainability. We don't all need to buy the same sign that says wedding this way and fill our garbage dumps with them.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and a lot of our
silly.
venues that we've talked to a number of venues recently and
Uh-huh.
planners that, people just like, oh, we don't want to take the signs with us, just keep the signs. And so they
Pleasantly
have like,
Divine
yeah, they have,
has a whole like attic full of arches and signs and things that people have left after, or you graciously left after they keep the sign, maybe the next people will use it, but
yeah,
now they have this whole like choose from this.
yeah.
I love that so much.
I love that idea too. And it's something that makes your life easier and keeps things out of the landfill and saves you a little bit of money sometimes. And it's
Such a
just,
pay
yeah,
it
it's
forward
kind of
moment.
nice. Yeah.
Everybody loves to be the recipient of pay it forward and that good feeling of when you get to pay it
Mhm.
forward, right? It's
Absolutely. I
wonderful
like it.
energy. Yeah.
Too bad you can't work that wouldn't work with your relatives, like you have some that you just like to leave at the venue and the next person could use them.
Uh,
Okay, okay, I'm getting it's one of those days.
well, we were talking about upcoming holiday stuff.
Yes, and that always brings that that could get us into a whole guest list. That's probably a
Yeah.
good podcast all by itself. But I feel like you don't want to rush this kind of getting through things. So you put your wedding in a drawer and put it away. But it's good
Oh,
to have, a list of things that you should really take care of. And every one of them is going to make you feel like it's going to make you feel like, yeah, we're married now and we're like adults now. This is great.
yeah. Time to start adulting. Stay organized. You
Yeah.
will be so
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah.
And, then and just enjoy reliving the memories.
Enjoy it. And maybe you're going to go on another if you didn't do your honeymoon right away, which, as we said, a lot of people are just doing a teeny tiny thing right after their wedding. And then, because maybe they have, their work schedules don't allow them to go away right away, or just have another kind of nice thing to look forward to,
It's
to
another
plan.
budget friendly thing. If you
Yeah.
can get married on an off month,
Mhm.
February or a March, and then take your honeymoon during the warm months or something, and
It's
enjoy
great.
what you like to do.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to. It doesn't have to accompany your wedding. I mean, I
No.
very much believe in a honeymoon, but it doesn't have to be right next to right the day after you got married.
No, I think that's too
If
much
it
planning.
is, great, that's a wonderful thing, but, yeah, don't feel the pressure of that because the timing of it all, trying to get all of that time together,
It's a lot
crazy.
of stuff at once. I feel like I always like to have something to
Take a
look forward
breath in
to.
between.
Yeah, really. And, most of our people already live together. They have a home together, but, there are some people who don't, and they're moving into a new place, maybe getting used to new commutes and new dishes and where's my
Mhm.
toothbrush. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. But you're married. Yay. And don't hesitate to reach out to any of your vendors, your florist or us or your venues. If you have questions about any follow-up with anything, the odds are that somebody has already asked these things of these places or us. Especially with the license, how do you get your copies? Then what do you do next? We've done thousands of weddings, and I never want to say that we have encountered every glitch and every issue because then another one will come up that I've
Yeah,
never
right, the
seen.
minute you
Yeah,
say
it's like,
that,
we
something
got our
crazy will
license
come
back.
up.
It was in French. It's like that doesn't make any sense. But we can probably help you when we're happy to do so. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and if it's something that we haven't dealt with, it's a great time to learn. A learning opportunity, right?
Yes, it's everything. There are no problems. There are just opportunities.
Yep. Then you
Easy
know
for
it.
me to say. Easy for me to say on a Tuesday, right?
Right.
Well, cool. Well, listen, if you have out there any questions about who to contact or what to do, or just, please feel free to contact us because if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
And
excellent.
thanks for joining us
Yeah.
today. Be
Mhm.
sure to hit like and follow. And if you have any questions, if you would like to hear us review a certain venue or vendor, or if you have any advice for other couples getting married and would like to come on and tell your advice or send us an email with it,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you.
I think the advice thing would be really fun to have like a this is what happened to me and
Hmm.
this is what we did about it session with maybe some of our former clients or some of our listeners.
I would
I
like
think
that.
that'd be really
Yeah, is there
fun.
something you did that you're so happy you did, or something you didn't do that you wish you would have, or just save a moment?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what? You just reminded me. Okay, this is completely off topic, but the best wedding tip that I heard this
What?
week
What?
was that the bridesmaids all had Q-tips stuck into the back of their bouquets. So if they started to cry, they could wipe away their tears without their mascara running all over the place.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
like brilliant? Okay, back
That's
to
a good
topic.
one.
I know, I like that. Maybe we need a tip like every time we do it. Maybe we need to have a tip at the end of every
Yes.
podcast. Oh, there we
Today's
go.
tip is to keep
Today's
it
tip.
in the bouquet
Useless or
and the
not.
recycling sites on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, you know what? People have put their wedding gowns on there. We've had flower girl dresses. We've had all kinds of interesting stuff. A lot of decor. It's a great place to check out. And I have no, I have no financial interest in doing that. It's just one of my brides years ago said, I have 27 picture frames. What do I do with them? It's like, well, we could figure this out. But there's been some. It's not. I don't keep it as clean as I should, but sometimes there's like chairs and sometimes there's, other things that may not look on the surface of it's like, wow, suitcases, those aren't, yeah, they could be a card box. So maybe they are a wedding thing.
Yeah, think
Yeah,
outside of the box.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Cool. All right, well, thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Happy planning.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now. Also, New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.